Get your money, don't care who judge. Stay out the way, surround yourself with nothing but love. Stay out the way, if you a gangster, killer or thug. Stay out the way, put your faith in the man above. Stay out the way, chill with your family, siblings and blood. Stay out the way, kick it with your girl, forget hit in the club. Stay out the way, mind on your money, ain't no switching it up. Stay out the way, stand out the way, what you thought that it was. Stay out the way. If you stuck down on your luck, not feeling righteous, did a petty crime, just looking for some excitement. Now your name on affidavits and court indictments, get paid for a lot, but your freedom is priceless. You did the crime, you do the time, don't let it surprise you. Real stories from the heart, just to open your eyes up.
Yo, what's good, y'all? What's the word? What's going on? How everybody doing out there? Y'all already know what it is, man. We are back again. And it's bonus banger time, y'all. That's a lot. I got a bonus banger for y'all. That's a lot. I keep a banger for y'all. That's a lot. Y'all know I keep a banger at all times. But like I always say before I start these videos off, man, I have no problem delivering this content to everybody that's out there working hard, working a 9 to 5. Everybody that's out there with their own business, getting to that bag the legit way. I make sure y'all got something to watch in the morning times, and I promise y'all, there's no problem on my end. I also have no problem making sure I'm warning y'all and telling y'all about how dangerous prison is. I only ask for one thing in the process, and that's for y'all just stay out the way, man. Stay out of jail. Stay out here with your family, man. Continue living your life as a free person. That's the only thing I ask, man. I don't want y'all to ruin y'all life, man, and have to go through what I've been through, man. I'm going to keep saying it every story. I do not want y'all to go through what I've been through. The dudes that been through what I've been through, I don't want to see y'all go back to that reality, man. Y'all already know that was the craziest reality that we ever had in our life. We don't want to go back to that. If you've never been, you never want to go. Just change everything you're doing, man. Just stay out the way from me, man. That's all I ask y'all. Period. But y'all already know what it is, man. This is a bonus banger. So what I need y'all to do with this one? Like, share, subscribe, this one, y'all. Let's get it. Let's go. What? It's time for business. It's time for business, y'all. And the story I got for y'all today is called He Had Me Selling His Tobacco. Part 1. Crazy story, crazy situation, but we are aware, people. We are in penitentiary, man. Crazy things happen all the time, man. I'm letting y'all know now, man. Like, prison is filled with a lot of people that want to live the life, but don't really have the backbone to live the life, man. Like, in prison, it's a little different from the street. Even though this happens on the street too, you have the guys that's not really strong enough or don't have a lot of like backup or just really scared on the low, man. To really handle their own business, they usually get other people to do it. And in prison, it goes the same way. Like, you'll have dudes that, like, it's a little bit more scarier in prison, by the way, but you will have dudes be like, yo, you know what, I'm just gonna pass it off and just see if I can just keep collecting and living good. Like, you will have dudes do that, man, but a lot of times it don't work, man, because once somebody figure out that you really a coward and you're really scared on the low, man, people use it to their advantage, man. I'm letting you know now, man. So with that being said though, y'all, we are on Lawrenceville, y'all. We are on Lawrenceville. And I can remember being in 30 building, man, for this one, y'all. And I can remember being in 30 building, y'all. It was kind of like a cool environment around this time. Like, I'm a 30 building representative, by the way, by this time, man. Like, I've been in 30 building since 2010. It's probably like 2013 now. So I've been in there a while. Like, I'm a known person in that building. Like, everybody already know the count. Kind of like how I would get down, how I move, how I be trying to get some money, how I stay out the way, how I'm a cool dude. And I ain't really want a whole lot of problems, just like everybody else did on Lawrenceville, man. Like, I explained to y'all in a lot of stories that Lawrenceville is the place where a lot of people didn't really want to crash. Now, if you come to Lawrenceville and crash, that's your stupidity. I'm letting you know now, it's your stupidity, man, because once you get to Lawrenceville, you can see with your own eyes that this is the best place for you to do time at, man. Like, I don't care what people say about it. I don't care how many people came there and got tricked up because they didn't know how to move. Lawrenceville was the best place to do time in Virginia. I don't care what you say, man. So, like, I was one of those guys that wasn't taking it for granted, just like a lot of other people was, man. So, like, I done had my time in there, y'all. Like, I done touched the la-la. I done did this and did that, but, like, things come and go. Like, this is around the time where I'm kind of like on some, like, it's a wrap for me when I had Big Nick coming through. So, like, I'm just in big mode, something fall through. I'm going to try to get in the car with somebody I know I can make it happen. Like, I still had other resources to make things happen. But for the most part, y'all, at this particular moment right here, y'all, I'm not doing nothing. I'm not doing nothing. And it's a shocker because in 30 building, it's always something going on. So, after being in the cell with Baldhead for like 2 years, I ain't even gonna lie, me and bro was roommates for a minute. After he went to the hole, it was like my room, I could never get a good roommate after that. Then a little bit after that, probably like 6 months after that, that's when the sergeant dude ended up moving me back to San Francisco. But this is before all of this though, but before all of this, it was like I could never get a good celly. The first celly I got, he didn't stay long. He didn't stay long because he was a part of the red team. He was one of them young wild dudes, part of the red team from Tidewater. Didn't want to stand for count. Didn't want to tuck his shirt in. Going, this is the easy stuff. He was getting tricked up for, man. So they locked him up. Man. Got him on my cell, which I was happy. It was kind of like a favor they did for me, man. So I was dolo for like 3 days. I went like 3 days dolo. And the reason why I went 3 days is because he went to the hole on a Thursday or a Friday. It was one of the two. I think it was a Friday. But I know I went the whole weekend with no roommate. You know what I mean? Then that Monday. So it probably was a Friday. So I went the whole weekend without a roommate and Monday. So after Monday came and went, Tuesday, I definitely knew I was getting a roommate because Tuesday is the day they usually bring new intakes on the compound. So like, I was just waiting for a new intake. I'm in the cell chilling. No, I'm gonna get a roommate, man. And I hear a dude come to the door. He was like, hey, Weezy, I think you got a celly that's about to come in. I'm like, who? He was like, I don't know. I said, what is a new intake? Because I'm like, I be worried about the new intakes because they don't really know how to bid. So like getting one of them, it'd be a different ball game. So I'm like, who is it, a new intake? He like, nah, I think it's a dude coming from the other side of the yard. So I haven't been over in 60 building side of the yard. I haven't been on that side of the yard since they first moved me to San Francisco 3 years ago. So I haven't been over there in a minute. So when he said that, I'm like, that's kind of gonna work out a little bit if he turned out to be official, because I don't really want a dude that's coming from like the receiving camp, because he ain't got no TV, he ain't got nothing. He's starting all over. Like, you might run across cool dudes like that, but still though, they don't have anything when they first come in. So I was kind of happy that they was telling me somebody from the other side was moving in. So I'm like, who is it? He was like, I don't know. But all I know is they said they got somebody coming to your cell. I heard them talking about it when I was in the council office. So I'm like, all right, that's what's up. So I was, you know what I mean? I wasn't happy, but I was still ready to get this over with. Let me see what my roommate gonna be. So we waited for a minute. So I come out of the pod. I'm just standing on the tier now. So I'm just looking around. I see the slide open up. The slide open up. I just see this bald head dude come pushing his cart in. You know what I mean? As soon as he pushed his cart in, he looked straight up because he knew he was coming in my cell. So I guess I'm on the top tier. I'm like this. I'm the second to the last cell on the top tier where the dead end part is at. On the other side of the top tier is where they can go out through the back door. That's the side you don't want to be on. I was on the great side where they can't blitz my cell unless they run up the steps. I can see them. So I'm looking up. He looking up. I'm just looking at him because I'm trying to recognize who he is, but I ain't never really seen dude. Like, Lawrenceville has so many people that you probably ain't never really seen, because like it be so many people ducked off in Lawrenceville, y'all. I'm telling y'all, it be like a lot of dudes just in the cut ducked off. So I never seen this dude. So he come in, he come up the steps, he get his stuff. So when he get to like the edge of the steps and he bring his stuff up the steps, I kind of like walked a little bit and I seen him. I was like, what's up, bro? He was like, he looked at me, he was like, oh, you in this cell? I was like, yeah. I was like, you need some help? He was like, yeah, you can help me if you want. So I went and got his box. When I got his box, I kind of grabbed it. I felt like he had a lot of, so I was like, man, what's in this box? He was like, that's my food. So I was like, yes, he got his own stuff. Then he was bringing his TV up. So he definitely had a TV. So he had all the tools that I was looking for. So he ended up coming into the cell. So when he came into the cell, I walked in behind him. I was like, so when he came in the cell, I came in a little bit after him. I was like, yo, what's up, man? I was like, what's up? Where you was coming from, bro? He was like, man, I was coming from 80 building. So 80 building was another one of those buildings that a lot of people got jobs in that buildings, but there's a lot of dudes that be ducked off over there. You would never really see dudes a lot unless they come outside or something like that. But they would be ducked off in 80 building as well. So he told me he come from 80 building. I'm like, for real? I'm like, why they move you? He was like, man, crazy, man. He's like, man, I kind of had to move myself. I was like, what you mean move yourself? He was like, I kind of like, he was like, I went to the unit manager and told him I didn't want to be in this building no more, man. Like on the low. I was like, on the low. I was like, why you do that? Were you running from somebody? When you got beef with somebody? He was like, nah. He was like, yeah, dang, man, you ain't even know my name. I was like, bro, listen, because I be doing stuff in this cell. You know what I mean? He had looked like a guy that kind of was in the stuff on Lawrenceville. Like, he had that look. He had a gold chain. He had a watch on. You know what I mean? His shoes looked clean. He had on a jean outfit. Like, he didn't look like a bum. He looked like somebody that probably get a little paper on Lawrenceville. So I'm like, yo, bro, I be doing stuff in here. So like, if you come in bringing a lot of drama, like, bro, that this is just the wrong say. He like, nah. I'm like, so what's your name, man? He was like, man, look, man, Rick, man. Everybody call me Rick. I was like, all right, so Rick is your name. So I'm like, so why you move from over there? Now I'm trying to get to the bottom, and I see that he saw that I turned the volume up a little bit. Like, so why you move? He was like, man, cuz, man. He was like, man, it's just dudes over there that be hating on me, man. He was like, man, for real. He was like, man, I ain't even gonna lie to you, man. He was like, man, it was a lot of dudes over there just hating on me, bro. He was like, man, like, I just was trying, you know what I mean? So I'm looking at him like, Like, cause I can tell if a dude welling or not. I feel like I had a welling detector built inside of me. Pause. Like, I felt like I can kind of tell if you welling or not after all these years I done been locked up now. I'm double digits in the can now. Like, I'm 13 years in type of time. I'm bitten, y'all. So like, I can kind of tell if a dude welling. He like, yeah, man. Like, you know, he was like, man, like, for real, I was trying to do my thing over there, man. He was like, the dude kind of like messed it up like that. So when he said that, like, y'all already know, and I was like, my ears kind of went like this. It was like, music in my ears. Like, I'm like, you was doing your thing over there. Like, what you mean doing your thing? He was like, I was trying to get some money. He was like, I was trying to get some money. Like, he was like, but you know, I don't be getting nothing with the tobacco though. He was like, for real, dudes be getting the tobacco over here. I'm like, we be scared. I said, we be scoring from y'all side. He was like, I seen his face kind of like, oh yeah. I was like, yeah, we be getting it from over y'all way. I was like, no, nobody over here. I said, used to be a dude that was in 40, but he got tore off. And I said, it was a dude over here that got tore off. So there ain't no more tobacco like that over here. It'll be scattered. I said, dudes probably be grabbing from your side. He was like, yeah, they probably do. They probably do, man. He was like, but like, I'm just trying to just start over here, man. He was like, man, for real though, man, like it's scary over in 80 building. Like, you think that junk sweet, you know what I mean? He was like, man, it's just one old head dude, man. Like, you know, at first I had rocked with him, you know what I mean? But like, he just too aggressive for me, man. Like, he just kind of really be making me feel like he bullying me or like he extorting me or something. So like I just had enough. So like, I wasn't gonna fight him, man, because he one of them dudes that keep talking about he ain't gonna never make parole. He got a life sentence and he ain't supposed to be on Lawrenceville. He don't care if he ever get into something. He gonna crash all the way out. Like, that's how he be talking. So he was like, I ain't gonna fight him. I just chose to get away from him though. So I'm like, oh, so you just dipped on him? He was like, yeah, I dipped. He was like, man, I know he gonna be mad. I was like, he gonna be mad. I'm like, what do you mean he gonna be mad? I was about to say, what do you mean he gonna be mad? You talking like y'all a couple or something. But I ain't say that though. But he like, yeah, I mean, like, I know he gonna be mad. Like, he know I moved. And as he was talking, I just was like, he talking like his lips is moving though. But like, I gave him a scan from the brain. That's my word. I was like I ain't even move. I was just looking at him like he was talking. I was like, yeah, so that's what's up, though. I was like, man, well, you all right over here, man. I was like, look, man, Weezy, man, by the way, because I ain't even telling my name. He was like, that's what's up. I said, go ahead and get your stuff together. I'm going to be back. So I dipped out, you know what I mean? So I go and holler at my homeboy downstairs. So my homeboy's in the cell with his homeboy. His roommate is his homeboy. So I used to go down there and mess with them. So they down there chilling, you know what I mean? So they was like, look, man, he was like the dude next door making wine. So they was like, look, we trying to mess with the Lala. But we ain't trying to do it with the shift. He was like, well, look, we can go to your cell. I was like, my celly just coming in there getting his stuff. I'm like, so what? Let's go to your cell. So I'm like, all right, man, he should be done by now. So we go back upstairs to my cell. So we get back upstairs to my cell. As soon as we walk into my roommate. He on the top bunk. It's like we scared him. He was on the top bunk. Like he's standing up, but he over top of his bed. And he doing something. So all you can see is his back. So when I open the door, everybody coming behind me. As soon as I walk in, I smell tobacco. I'm like, I walk in, I'm like, oh. I was like, hey, bro, my bad, bro, you busy. He was like, he turned around, he was like, then he seen I had a couple more people with me. He was like, oh no, so everything good? I was like, yeah, everything. I was like, look, this is my homeboy right here, man. These are my two homeboys right here, man. I said, they good. You know what I mean? I said, they from Norfolk, you know what I mean? These my two dudes I be rocking with. He was like, oh, all right, what's up, bro? Rick. All right, nice to meet you, nice to meet you. He got them up. So my homeboy was like, well, you got some tobacco? Because that's what we was trying to find, but we might not be able to get none until tomorrow. He was like, I mean, I got a little bit. He went in his pocket, he pulled out like a big 50 sack, like, and you know, 50 sacks won't like us, like you got all tobacco, but like a 50 sack of tobacco in the pod when there's no tobacco, y'all, that's a lot of tobacco game, y'all. So boom, he whipped out. I ain't gonna lie. He was like, yeah, so I see it. I'm like, oh, what's up, bro? He was like, you ain't gotta buy nothing, bro. You might sell it. You ain't gotta buy nothing, man. He was like, here, y'all go ahead. Y'all go ahead, man. So my homeboy was like, you mess with the Lala? He was like, nah, I don't mess with the Lala. He was like, I be drinking. You know what I mean? He was like, I don't mess with the Lala though. So I'm like, man, like this is a dream roommate. He mess with the tobacco, get the tobacco, but don't mess with the Lala. I was like, where this guy been all my life? Pause. But like, you don't be running across roommates like that and don't mess with the Lala. Like, you don't. So like, I'm hearing, you know, we kicking it a little bit. He seemed like he was all right. So we hitting the Lala. After we finished the Lala, I rolled a nice cigarette. That's my roll. I rolled a decent jank. You know what I mean? A nice old bogey. Roll that junk. We start hitting that junk. That junk start going around. So everybody just kicking it and reminiscing and stuff, just kicking it. So my homeboy was like, so how 80 building, what's going on over there, bro? Like, what y'all be? He was like, man, dudes be getting money on the low. That's all dudes be doing. Like, when he said that, I already knew he was kind of one of those dudes. Like, he didn't even have to go no more. But he was like, yeah, dudes be getting money on the low. That's what be going on, you know what I mean? So I'm like, yeah, that's what's up. Dudes be getting money over here without it being on the low. I was like, you just got to hustle over here. He was like, yeah, I know, man. So my homeboy was like, look, can I still buy some of that tobacco from you though? He was like, nah, you good. He gave my homeboy some more tobacco, like 2 more roll-ups. So he turned out to be all right on that first day, y'all. I ain't even gonna lie, like, Rick turned out to be a cool dude on the low, man. Like, but the only thing I got from him though, from how he talked about the dude, Frank, that he was kind of probably one of them scary dudes, y'all. So boom. Now being scary in penitentiary, it's a different ball game, y'all. I'm telling y'all, man, like, you can move around and still feel like nobody have ever find out that you scared. But like, it's always a scary dude that want to try to get some bread. That's how it be. Like, I don't know why it's always like that. It's always the scary dude that want to get some money and got the access to get some money. You know what I mean? It'd be the maniacs like me and everybody else that don't be having access to this stuff. So this is how stuff just be happening. Like, this is a normal thing that happen in penitentiary. You can ask anybody. You know what I mean? Like, you might stumble across a situation just like this one, man. So, you know, I feel like now that I rewind the tape, you know what I mean, and looked at it from after this situation was over with, like, I think in the beginning stages, kind of like he was just filling me out. He was kind of like just trying to see if I was, you know what I mean, like a cool dude, or I was a thorough dude, or I was a dude that was a clown, or he was somebody that I wouldn't even rock with. Like, I felt like he was trying to figure me out. So through the first kind of like the first day, like I say, it turned out to be all right. So the next day come. So we on the yard. We go on the yard, morning rec. So this is like April. So everybody go outside slightly because it ain't nothing else to do in the morning. So everybody go outside the rec. So we outside the rec. So we out on the yard. So I see him. I'm walking laps. But at first I wasn't walking laps because I'm talking to my man in 40 building. But I looked and seen my roommate. I seen Rick standing by the gate. Kind of like the gate is the separation. Like I told y'all, we got a gate, but there's a gate block in the middle. So like we got to yell over the gate. Like we can back up and you can see people kind of on the other side of the yard. Or when that gate opened up, when people got to come through, you can see people, or sometimes they might leave the gate open like a little bit. And you talking, dudes be talking to people across the gate. That's basically what I'm saying. So like when I look, I seen him talking to somebody. Now that was normal because he just came from the other side of the yard. So I already knew he was probably talking to somebody. So I start walking laps. And my homeboy that's in the pod with me, he'll start walking laps. I mean, we just kicking it. Yeah, he was like, yo, you're something cool though. I was like, I know, bro. I was like, man, he got his own stuff. We were chilling last night. Like, cool dude. So we just walking, we get a little bit more closer to him. As we get closer, I see him, he just standing there. As we get a little bit more closer, I hear a voice coming over the gate. That John was like, man, you came and did all that. Man, why you ain't tell me you was doing that, man? No, man, you doing, that's wrong how you did it, man. Nah, he was like, man, I won't fill in that building no more, man. I won't fill in that. He was like, what you mean? The gate opened up. We walked past. I seen the dude. It was a light-skinned, bald-head dude, psycho-looking dude. I ain't gonna lie. Like he was like late 40s, early 50 game. You know what I mean? Like he work out, everything. Short dude, kind of diesel dude, bald-head, light-skinned dude. So I was like, that must be the dude, Frank. So we hit another lap. So we come back around again. I hear the dude. He's still talking. My roommate just still standing there like. So he like, yeah, hey, look. Yeah. Who you in the cell with over there? Who you selling? He was like, he looked back and seen me coming. So I guess he like, you know what I mean? But still, he was like, it's my celly right here. I was like, who that, man? It's me and my homeboy walking. I'm like, who that? He like, oh, this the dude Frank I was telling you about. I was like, I gave dude the head pause. I was like, that's where he looked. He was like, because we ain't know each other. Like, I ain't never seen that maniac. You know what I mean? We get to walking again. I tell my homeboy, I'm like, dude, wow, man. I was like, yo, that's the dude. I said, look, I ain't even tell you this. I said, he was telling me that's why he dipped from 80 building because he said, dude, child was on his top. He said, I said, man, bro, I think bro get a little money. I said, he probably trying to, he said, yeah, I think so too. I said, but look, he do get some money. I said, of course he gonna come to me and let me sell the J. I said, because I already know he a scary dude and he trying to duck that dude he talking to at the fence. My homeboy was like, yeah, dude look like a maniac too. I was like, no, man. I was like, man, so we getting closer and closer as we talking again. So the dude was coming from like medical or something. So he come through, the gate swing open. Boom. So the gate swing open. It was like perfect timing as we was coming. So the dude, he looking at me because I guess he trying to get a better look at me to see who his roommate is. But as we coming around, it's like, I felt like we was in the joint like an Ice-T in New Jack City with Nino Brown. We was in the club. I was just looking out like, But we coming around, looking at him. I get a good look at him this time. Like, he looking at me, I'm looking at him. I was like, quick, Jay, y'all. This is the quickest scan I ever did. I was like, probably shake around the road in his past. I was like, came back around again. He was still talking to my son. I was like, yo, what's up, man? You trying to hit this roll up? What's good? We about to hit this roll up. He was like, oh, y'all about to smoke. All right, hold on. He was like, hey, Frank, I'ma holler at you though, man. Frank was like, yeah, all right. Yeah, you gonna holler at me, all right. Yeah, that's messed up too, man. That's some sucker stuff you did, man. He was like, man, come on, Frank, man. Frank was like, all right, don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. Frank disappeared. You know what I mean? He started walking with us. We like, man, you gotta, I was like, yo, I went on the set. I was like, yo, is dude a Terminator, man? He was like, a Terminator. I was like, bro, listen, is he someone that's gonna be down on your top relentlessly, bro? Like, you seen Terminator the movie? He was like, yeah. I said, bro, is he gonna be like Part 1 Terminator? You know what I mean? He was like, oh yeah, he would. I mean, nah, he ain't, man. Look, I ain't got nothing. I told him since I moved, the play dead. I ain't got nothing. So I'm like, all right, man. So we went on and walked, stood over here by the fence. We hit the roll up. It was time to go back in. So we go back in, we moving around, we out in the pod. So my homeboy like, look, man, look, once you go in and holler at him and see we can get in the car, bro. He was like, look, ask him how much we gotta pay or whatever the case. Like, I know he got a route. I was like, you can tell he got a route. He was like, you can tell he got a route. He looked like one of them dudes that be having the police come through. So I'm like, man, how those dudes look? He was like, man, you know, they always look like the scary ones, man. Like, they always the ones getting in the car. I was like, yeah, you're right. I said, no, I'm gonna kick it with him. I'm gonna kick it with him though, man. I said, I'm gonna see, you know what I mean, what's going on. So we locked down for the morning count, you know what I mean? So we locked down the cell. I wanted to bring it up so bad, like, but I was kind of like tiptoeing around the whole situation. I was like, man, for real, man. I was like, man, I for real, I was getting money in this joint. I was like, man, but you know how things is, things fall off. You know what I mean? He was like, yeah, I know, man. He was like, man, you ain't got no phone. We ain't get no phone. I said, I just had a phone. I said, a phone got tore off. I was like, for real, I want to get another one. I was like, but I ain't got nothing going on. I was like, I'm one of them dudes that if I ain't got no situation going on, I ain't got no means of getting money, then I ain't chasing a phone. Like, I want a phone when I get money, when I'm getting money. I don't want a phone if I'm not getting money. That's not how I get down. So he was like, yeah, I feel that. So I'm like, look, bro, I'm like, so I'm saying though, like, what's good though, bro? I was like, my homeboy was talking like, you trying to get some bread. Like, what's up though? Like, you be getting to that pack? You be getting that pack? He looked at me, he was like, what you mean I be getting the pack? I was like, what you mean I mean you be getting the pack? You told me you freaking dipped out on the dude because he was jive on your top over there. You know what I mean? I said, you don't look like a dude that shake, rattle, and roll, do you? He was like, no, I don't do that. I don't do that. I said, well, at the end of the day, you running from somebody. He was like, no, I ain't running from nobody. I was like, well, at the end of the day, you doing something, bro. I was like, for real, like, if you be getting on, bro, and you scared to sell it, bro, I was like, let me handle that business. He was like, what you mean handle the business? I'm like, bro, I'm talking about like what you got. If you can get something, I said, you got something coming soon? I said, because if you got something coming soon, then yeah, we can do business, bro. I said, oh, man, ain't nobody gonna say nothing to me. I said, and dude over there, I said, I'm not worried about him. I said, I'm not worried about him, man. He's not the first Terminator that I ran across. Like, I'm not even tripping on that. Like, he's probably like the 4th, 5th Terminator that I encountered that you know what I mean, that I might have a situation with. So I'm like, I'm not even tripping on him, bro. I was like, look, if you ain't trying to sell nothing, man, you trying to stay in the cut. I was like, man, just let me know, bro. I said, man, I can make that happen, man. So as soon as I said that, it was like, stand for count, bottom tier. We coming on the bottom tier. So they count downstairs. So I see his face. He got a major face, like, you know what I mean? Like, I talk to him, all right, man, what you talking about? Like, you can tell he kind of thinking, you know what I mean? We both standing up, but like, he leaning on his bed. Like, I'm kind of like just watching my TV right there. But I was just telling him, like, yeah, bro, like, what's up? Like, let me know if you need somebody to got down, pump that work, you know what I mean? So he like, they counted. So like I say, he thinking about it. You can see that he's thinking about it. So they come on the top tier. Stand for count. They gonna stop by our end because they gonna shoot out the back door. So they start from our end, then they go all the way around. They get all the way around. Next thing you know, you hear that back door open. Then you hear that jump close. Boom. That jump close. He was like, he got up. He was like, he went under the bed. He was like, that man came up. That man was like, look, I got some tobacco, bro.
Get your money, don't care who judge. Stay out the way, surround yourself with nothing but love. Stay out the way if you a gangster, killer or thug. Stay out the way, put your faith in the man above. Stay out the way, chill with your family, siblings and blood. Stay out the way, kick it with your girl, forget hit in the club. Stay out the way, mind on your money, ain't no switching it up. Stay out the way, stand out the way, what you thought that it was. Stay out the way, if you stuck down on your luck, not feeling righteous. Did a petty crime, just looking for some excitement. Now your name on affidavits and court indictments. Get paid for a lot, but your freedom is priceless. You did the crime, you do the time, don't let it surprise you. Real stories from the heart just to open your eyes up.